Well, the technology that allows us to know the temperature, humidity, and chance of precipitation on an hourly basis is something on which we've come to expect and rely.
But did you ever wonder how the technology of predicting the weather came about?
UW-Madison Professor Jonathan Martin answers that question in his new book, Reginald Sutcliffe and the Invention of Modern Weather Systems Science. And Jonathan joins us now. Thanks for being with us again. Always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Hi, Jonathan. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much, Susan. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk about it.
So let's start at the beginning. Who is this Reginald Sutcliffe?
Reginald Sutcliffe was a British meteorologist born in 1904, the first of his family to even go to grammar school, let alone high school, because all of his preceding generations of the Sutcliffe family were stuffed into factories working as child laborers. And then he set himself up to become probably the most influential meteorologist in the middle of the 20th century. Helped us to understand how storms that come by us in the middle latitudes develop and get more intense during their lifetimes, and also how the cloud and precipitation structures associated with their fronts are really forced and actually occur. So everything that we know about the way in which the sensible weather evolves in the middle latitudes, we owe a substantial debt of gratitude to the genius of Reginald Sutcliffe.
How did he do that? Was he just a scientist, or how did this all come about?
Yeah, it's a great question. He did it sort of out of frustration, Susan. He graduated as a mathematics PhD from the University of Leeds in 1927. And as impossible as it might sound, in that time, global depression just about coming on in the wake of World War I, mathematicians were not able to make a living in anything else except teaching or in very high academic posts. He didn't want either of those, despite the fact that he'd had great respect for his own teachers. Somebody at the University of Leeds suggested, why don't you apply to the meteorological office? They sometimes hire mathematics grads. He got involved with the meteorological office and was disgusted by how unscientific forecasting was, and set about trying to make it more rigorous and more physical. And he indeed succeeded.
And this is all well before computers.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Sutcliffe's greatest contribution was understanding how weather systems get more intense. It's called the development theorem, and it came out in 1947, right after his long service in World War II. At almost the exact same moment in time, Mark, there was a big push to start using the computer, which was also developed during World War II, to actually work on forecasting the weather. Sutcliffe, I think, felt that his insights were displaced by the incredible emphasis that was placed on the tool development of the computer. And for a long time, he was right. It's not really until the last 3 or 4 decades that we've really made the strides that the computer revolution promised for prediction in meteorology.
Boy, you look at where meteorology has come in the present day, and it really is unbelievably accurate. I mean, you know, people give our weather people a lot of guff sometimes when the forecast is wrong, but it isn't most of the time. When you look at it, it really is incredibly accurate. What do you think he would think about that, about the way we forecast today?
That's an excellent question, Susan. I think he was skeptical in his own lifetime of the promise of numerical weather prediction, that is prediction by computer. And as you say, boy, is it accurate. If you paint the complexion of the day by what the 5-day forecast says, any time of year, you're going to be right about 9 times out of 10. And if you had a sports team that won 9 of every 10 games it played, you'd be a fan for life. So, you know, that's a really good level of success. I think Sutcliffe was not an immovable skeptic. I think he would have been thrilled that we've made the progress we made. I think, though, he would also have been surprised that it came so fast and so remarkably.
What a wonderful story. Thank you for bringing his life to our attention. I can't wait to read this book.
Me too.
I love the weather.
We're running out of time, but is this just sort of like for weather geeks, or would everybody enjoy this?
No. Susan, great question again. I tried very hard to write this for a broad audience because I have a firm belief that I find this at the bus stop waiting to go to work. People want to talk about the weather. They're curious about the weather. They're curious about how our ability to forecast it came about. So the book is written for a general interested audience.
All right. Congratulations again. A book available, I assume, on Amazon and wherever you buy books.
Everywhere it is, Mark. Yes. Thanks very much for taking the time.
Great to see you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.